What is shaking, y'all? Episode 185, Golden Mike Live with your boy Marc Cordon. We already have the love and the thumbs up on this. You know why we have the love and the thumbs up? Because we have one of our most favorite guests on the show. Wendy Van Besien is here. Wendy is a leadership and resilience coach, and we're going to be talking about that today. From the standpoint, it's good to see you guys hop in. From the standpoint of everyday resilience, not just when the shit hits the fan, but how can we use resilience on an everyday sort of track to sort of help with our own growth. So thanks for joining us. Hit that heart. Yes, there's more people coming in. Hit that heart. Let us know you're alive. Today it's a Thursday and we're having fun with Wendy Van Besien, resilience and leadership coach extraordinaire. It's episode 185. Wendy, do you know why there's been 185 episodes?
Because you've had 185 guests with you, Mark?
Because I've had 185 guests, and you can't cancel me, Wendy Van Besien! I produce this show! I throw the tantrums when I want!
Guess what? You throw tantrums very well.
Amazing! Shelly, it's good to see you today. We're adding you to the broadcast. Shelly Brown, downtown Shelly Brown's going to be on next week. Can't stay long, but we'll listen to the replay. Hi to you, and Badass Rad Wendy. How did you know her nickname is Badass? It's Badass Wendy Van Badass, as we call it. Catch that replay, Shelly. We'll see you next week. For those of you who have not met me, my name is Marc Cordon, positive psychology coach, founder of the Make Money coaching program, The Joy Revolution, but more importantly, on a daily basis, I get to ask my friends, my colleagues, and today, Wendy, 2 questions. The 2 questions are so simple, but they're so profound, depending on what point of life you're in, and it's this. How happy are you today? And how much are you living in your full purpose? Wendy, you got 2 questions to answer for me.
I am 10 out of 10 happy, and I am an 8 out of 10 living into my purpose. Always continually growing, Mark, right? It's never, I'm just really grateful to be at this 8 and still moving up.
I like that, because a lot of people will be like 10 and 10, and then it's like, okay, so now that you're at full capacity, put that expert speaker, put that damn piece of crap cup down, throw that expert speaker cup away. It's trash. I told you if you did that during the thing, I'd do it. But most people talk about being at full capacity. But the thing is once you're at full capacity, where do you go? Where do you go? So you're giving your space room to grow, right? Now, for those of you who are feeling good today and living life in your full purpose, I want to see it. I want to see it on the replay. I want to see it live. Hit the hearts. Let us know that your heart is beating and that you're alive today and you're happy to be alive. If you didn't know, Wendy has survived. I wouldn't say survived. She's kicked cancer's ass 3 times. And we're going to go into that in a little bit, so stick around. But here's the other thing. Positive psychology, a lot of people think positive psychology is 24/7 shits and giggles. Wendy Van Besien riding around the New York City area throwing Skittles to everybody in these ugly expert speakers cups. Wrong! That's not what happiness is, or positive psychology. Positive psychology is about the ups, the downs, and the all-arounds of life. And if anyone who I know who's been through the ups, the downs, the all-arounds of life, it would be Wendy. So if you're feeling it, or if you're not feeling it today, it's a Thursday and you're like, I am not happy today. Or you're saying to yourself, 30 years of this freaking job, and it used to give me so much purpose, and it doesn't anymore. Where do I go from here? That is cool. Your heart beats just like everybody else. And the thing is, it's a part of everybody's story. So hopefully one day you'll be telling that. If you're alive, and going through that, give us the thumbs up because your heart beats just like everybody else. Can't wait for you to tell the story on the show. The last one Van Besien knows about, and it's about hope. Not that bullcrap hope where you're wishing, but you're actually using resilience. You're actually using grit. You're using tools to actually manifest what it is that you want out of life. You get clear on it, and you use hope theory. Not more important, as important as IQ and EQ is hope. Wendy, you feeling hopeful today?
I'm always feeling hopeful, Mark.
So you know what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the wow face. Even though I told you to put that cup down, you can bring it up as much as you want now. Put the cup down! I put the cup down. I was kidding. No, but give me a big old...
Mark, relax. I'm an expert.
Put the cup down and tell me about hope. Make the hope face. It's called the wow face. What do you got, Wendy? She's just so cute today. Now, Wendy, I've asked you this question multiple times. I even asked you this question when we were in a bar in Miami meeting for the first time. I got to tell you guys the story of how I met Wendy, first of all, because I don't think we've told this yet. Wendy, I'm in this bar. I had the corner covey, so I can be by my quiet self. She rolls in with her whole posse, right? They take one look at me, and they assume I'm going to move for them. They say Wendy's one of them. And I'm like, I ain't moving. I'm going to be the center of like this ladies group right now. So Wendy was one of them, but we had an amazing talk about our stories, I would say. And I would say an unforgettable one. And Wendy, you don't have to talk about what we talked about that day, but when it comes to on this day in November, what's your story?
I think my story is everyone has a story, Mark, right?
Yeah.
Everybody has a backstory, and my story isn't better, worse, more tragic, less tragic. I think things happen to us, and we have a conscious choice as to how to move forward. I've had the opportunity of having many things happen to me. Tragic ski accident, really, that put me out of commission for 6 months. I am a 3-time cancer survivor, 2 breast cancers, 1 salivary gland cancer, and then I went through a very amicable divorce thereafter. So I've had some things happen, and we have an opportunity. We can look at things as sadness and tragedies, and a lot of these were, but it's not necessarily just about getting through these situations. It's about how are we going to use it thereafter? How is it going to be applied in our life? What is it that we can do to have lessons and then put those into practice thereafter?
Well,
and I think what I've been able to do differently than others is be able to do that in particular.
I think you've done it quite well. I have this question. I don't think I've ever asked this to you. Horrific ski accident.
Yes.
3 three cancer bouts, and divorce, amicable or not. You just love that cup. amicable or not, it's still a divorce, and it's got its ups and downs with it, right? Do you feel as if these events happened randomly, or do you feel like there was a purpose for all of the events happening to you?
Well, it's a really interesting question, because I think there's a school of thought that people will suggest, or some people may think, well, things happen for a reason.
Yeah.
I am not one of them. I think in my younger years, I thought, okay, things happen for a reason. I do think that things happen, and then we can figure out how to put it into the context of our own lives. And so for me...
So we can reverse engineer the purpose. Almost.
Okay.
Right? It happens, and then we look at it, and then we connect the dots. Right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
So
okay.
we find purpose in whatever happens to us, regardless of what that is.
Okay.
And then how we view that is how we're actually going to make that a part of our context of our own lives.
Okay. Now, I mean, I'm thinking a ski accident and cancer would be enough for me to say, Woe the fuck is me. Like to go into
Right.
pure my life has been a tragedy and I'm a pure victim. Like is would you say that's been or that was a choice because it is a choice to go into that. A choice that you had made or was it always like bring on the fourth, baby?
No. That ski accident when I was happened when I was 36. I mean, and I think there's you and I have talked about this. When certain things happen to people, there's a little bit of a voyeurism of people really wanting to help out, but also wanting to like see kind of what's going on. And I think when I had the ski accident, very open to the community. Oh my gosh, we had dinners. People were so kind, truly. But there's also a little bit of ego then that happens. I'm getting a lot of attention, right? And then you go right into the cancer where that is also happening. I mean, again, the community, incredibly kind, family, friends. I have an incredible amount of support. The
Mm-hmm.
the challenge with that is okay, what happens thereafter? What's your new normal when you go back to the world? So after
Sure.
the first cancer, I was definitely on this path of getting to really understand my own needs better, also just understanding like what was my purpose. But I got back on that treadmill thereafter.
Yeah.
It was much easier to get back on the treadmill. I had started doing yoga, had started on this path of really understanding the mind, but
And
then
by treadmill you mean a metaphorical treadmill.
yes, a
Okay.
metaphorical treadmill.
Okay.
Exactly, which is getting up, going to work, taking care of the girls, taking care of Steve, having a social life. And it wasn't necessarily sleepwalking, but I don't think I was really living into what I was born to do, which is really this coaching and serving others.
So
But it was the second cancer
ah
where it wasn't and this is going back to your question, it was not necessarily why me. I never went into the depth of victimhood, but I did go into the second cancer: acceptance, forgiveness, and purpose. The acceptance of my own flaws, the acceptance of some of my failed relationships or what I perceived being failed, forgiveness of those, of that, and forgiveness that I am imperfect like the rest of us.
yeah.
And it's okay to be that way and to get back out of my own insecurity as a person, as a mother, as a wife, as a leader. And then finally, what is the purpose? And
No,
the
no.
purpose clearly went to the coaching, which
Now,
is
when
where
you're talking about the acceptance, the forgiveness, and the purpose, uh, in what way did you pick up those new mindsets, or were those things that had really just presented themselves as if I am to make it through this, these are three things that I personally identify and I'm now woke to.
yeah.
So it was the latter.
It was actually, I think it was a little combination of both. I'm diagnosed literally on my 48th birthday, second time, in a supermarket. There's when I got the call, and I think I went into shock and trauma, and then it was acceptance, forgiveness, purpose. I can't remember when that popped in. I do know that the way I was going to handle everything that was going to transpire thereafter needed to be focused on that.
Okay.
Needed to be about that acceptance, forgiveness, and purpose. And those were the values that I lived in as I went through the whole experience.
Okay, and how easy or difficult was that for you to, you're standing holding cream corn one second, talking to your doctor. I
Yeah.
think you told me you dropped the cream corn or something,
Yeah.
or the turkey or something.
It's like cranberry sauce.
Cranberry sauce. There you go. I like the cream corn effect better. But like, how easy or difficult was that to practice acceptance, forgiveness, or purpose, or be acceptance, forgiveness, and purpose?
Well, there were moments that was really easy and moments that were really hard. And I don't think it's not linear. It's not as if this came and I was able to live into it. I think it was after a lot of practice, a lot of reading, a lot of introspection. It was about being mindful, but also letting myself feel bad. You know, the day before I'm heading into a chemotherapy treatment and I know I'm not going to feel great, there was a little bit of a pity party, and I allowed myself to have that
So
pity
there was
party.
also permission there, in all of that. So, my God, we're not even halfway through the stories now. But like, you're going into the third cancer now, and also a divorce. And I don't feel like you've abandoned acceptance, forgiveness, and purpose. But as you've gone into your third, you went into your third cancer. You had a divorce. How did acceptance, forgiveness, and purpose change for you? Or how did it stay the same? Did you just
Yeah.
continue mastering acceptance, forgiveness, and purpose? Or were there new tools that you had needed to bring on?
Yeah, no, well, for me, it's never, I don't think there's ever going to be mastery.
Okay.
At least I don't think there is. I think there's always going to be a continuous learning and, okay, what does this really mean? What's the tool? What works now versus not doesn't work?
Yeah.
So from the order, it was the third cancer. And because it was salivary gland, what immediately popped into my mind, and I think it's very much the truth, which was, again, it wasn't necessarily about the cancer, but it was about me speaking my voice. It was time for me to stand up on a that's a metaphorical level of all areas of my life. And because of that, I was very, again, grateful and lucky. Great doctors at NYU. It was just a surgical removal but it was a surgical removal of that. And then that was very deep, Mark. I mean, it was really deep. Like now I've had cancer 3 times. It's like, okay, what else? You know, that was a lot to handle psychologically because, okay, it meant that I was still on, I hadn't reached what I had hoped to reach.
Yeah.
And it was now about that forgiveness of there. And it was also now about, okay, what are you going to do about it, Wendy? And it was at that moment that I decided to go into coaching.
Gotcha.
And then the divorce happened 2 years thereafter. But it was that moment I said, I cannot not do this now. That was like a sign of some sort.
When it came to voice, I mean, I definitely hear vocation, which it has the roots of voice in it, right? Vocation, right?
Yeah.
What was it that needed to come? What was it that needed to be said?
Yeah.
Because you're specifically talking about like, the act of empowering others and stuff. That's coaching, but
Yeah.
you're specifically talking about like there was something here that needed to come out, and it was no longer going to be tolerated to keep it here. It needed to come out. What was it?
So one of the things was definitely the purpose, which was leading into coaching. I had been on the fence. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that I had the family support to move forward at that time. Now, tremendous support, but at that time, it wasn't. I didn't feel like it was there. I think the voice was also Steve and I were having marital problems, and it was about, okay, let's kind of deal with that right now. Let's really talk about what's going on, and we did really try to make it work. I mean,
Was it an elephant in the room type of thing, or it was something along the lines of like, I have something to say to you, Steve, but like, I can't yet,
right,
or like I'm gonna
right.
keep it down. So it was a little bit of both,
It
right?
was a little bit of both. I think it was speaking of my truth or speaking of voice was happening in all different areas. It was my personal life. It was my professional life. And even from a personal standpoint, I mean, my friendships have gone much deeper now because I wasn't trying to be any other person than Wendy Van Besien. And that allowing that voice to come through, it was like, fuck it. I'm going to be loved for who I am and for what and live into my values and core values, which I then was able to identify from the coaching. And that made it much more simple to kind of live the life the way I wanted to live.
And hence the the birth of Wendy Van Badass, right?
Right.
So let's talk about this. We're just walking through the major epochs in your life, with a reminder to everybody that this is not only a woman who is going through these major, what you could call traumatic experiences, but is also going through the mundane of the day to day life, right? Still being a mother, still being there for Steve, right? So by the time it got to Steve, right, and it got to this divorce, um, do you, that I don't want to make assumptions, but I am for the sake of good television, right? Like, but do you think that anything that had to do with three cancers and hitting a tree, I think the
Well,
ski
the
ex,
person hit me.
oh, the idiot hit you, right? Um, do you think any of that wore Steve down?
Of course. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, could not. I mean, he's, I don't want to say he's a victim because we all have our choices too, but he didn't sign up for that
yeah,
when we just got married. I
yep,
mean, that wasn't, I don't think that's what, certainly not what he wanted. And so it's really hard, Mark, right, to, as a positive psychologist, you are, and I'm a practitioner, it's hard to parcel that out. Like what happens and what's causal and not causal.
yeah,
What I do know is those incidents put stress on relationships and marriage.
absolutely,
So it's
absolutely.
not.
I mean, I could definitely see Steve being like, okay, here's a ski accident. It's gonna be a while. I'm gonna be with her.
Right.
Oh man, I didn't sign up for 6 months of this, but like, yeah, you know. And then cancer comes around, and Steve's like, I'm supposed to grow old with this woman. Like, what the fuck is going on? You
Right.
know? And then he sees you pick up that expert speaker's mug, and he's like, Divorce City, baby. No, but also at the same time, a lot of people don't think about the resiliency that it takes for someone who it was an illusion
Right.
in Steve's mind to think that his life with you was gonna go a certain way. That's what I'm hearing, right? It was an illusion, and when that illusion got popped,
The illusion is there's happily ever after. The illusion is that everything works out the way we want it to. The illusion is that people respond the way we want them to respond in moving forward, right? The
mm,
reality is we can only be aware of what our own feelings and responsibilities and behaviors are.
mm,
And when we lose that, that's when there are a lot of nuances as to why Steve and I have chosen to get divorced, but I think it really is about how are we culpable for our own actions, and then how do we want to move forward?
absolutely. So let's talk about moving forward now. Here you are stepping into your own as a coach, and just curiosity wise, what was what was the pushback that you felt early on when you knew you wanted to be a coach, but you didn't have the support? What was the like that pushback look like?
I think the pushback was there were a couple pushbacks. I mean, from my own personal perspective, it was about breaking through my own fear, right? Like, am I good enough? Can I do this? Am I able to move forward? So that was the first thing. I think the second thing is for me, as I wanted to transition to this, well, that takes time away from the family, takes time away from other people's needs because I am doing something for myself that is unknown, not pressure tested, nothing that we had really thought about before. But yet, I knew that needed to. It was definitely on my path. I mean, again, with everything that happened, it was okay. This is how I was going to give back because I had so many people help me through all my experiences. I needed to give back, and this is the one way I could do that.
So let's talk
Yeah.
about two things then. Let's talk about your internal and talk about the external, right? Internally, you said you had a lot of fears. So the first question is how did you get over those fears? And then the second question is how did your family go from a place of I don't know if we support this to fully embracing you as
Right.
a coach.
How did I get over the fear? Oh, one nightmare at a time. Now,
I
I think
love Van Badass. She's amazing.
I think if you get over the fear by just taking one step at a time, Mark, right? It is about just moving forward. And it's not like when we coach, as we both do, it's not about taking a person from where they are to absolutely where they want to get to. It's about just taking one step at a time.
Yeah. And you know
And
what's really interesting, Wendy, is like here it is, like I'm looking at someone who has um like no fucking joke it 4 times. Yeah, she is cool. She is cool, Shelly. I told you. So
thanks,
4 fucking times. I mean, you probably have a good idea of what the Grim Reaper looks like, right?
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
And yet you're still talking about having fear.
Yeah,
You know, and it's like you'd think that you come so close to the precipice of being lost that you wouldn't have that fear anymore,
yeah.
right?
That
And
that is a great insight because it's still I wasn't really still living into what my capabilities were, right? I was still insecure. I didn't know if I could do it. I didn't know if I was good enough. Why would people listen to me? Am I able to do this? And so it has been this part of this for me, this journey that's been moving from fear to fearlessness. And I've come a long way and I still have a more to go.
okay, so you do believe that there's a state that we can exist in of living without fear.
Yes, I
Okay,
believe that there is.
have you been able to feel that state of fearlessness?
I have,
Okay,
actually.
tell me about it.
I I feel that fearlessness when I am speaking on a stage. I feel that fearlessness when I'm in the zone and have a great coaching session.
Yeah.
I feel that fearlessness when I'm with my daughters and we're giggling or laughing and it's everything is not not you're just not I'm not worried about anything else. I feel it when I'm with them friends and family. And I feel it now, for instance, I was just with a friend. We were at the melanoma gala in the city. She is a director of the society,
Mm,
and Katie Clark was speaking, and there was a great doctor that had gotten the award from NYU. And I had fearlessness then when I went up to them and just had conversations.
yeah.
It's like everybody puts their pants on the same way.
Yeah.
And what I found was that they were so gracious in having people come up and talk to them about what they talked about. And as a coach, it wasn't about me. I was asking them questions. And what you and I both know, people love to talk about themselves, about what drives them. And I'm curious about that. So that's when I'm in my state of fearlessness.
Okay, that makes total sense. Now let's go over to the support. Like, what changed over there with the family support from,
Right,
mom, honey, blah blah,
right.
to yes, we unequivocally support where you're going and what you're doing.
Well, I think what really happened, I mean, Mark, you and I both were trained at IPAC, so it talks about energy levels and what the energy, where we are in our energetic,
Mm-hmm.
where we are at that moment. Also, families, units of people have their own energies as well.
Yep.
So when you introduce a different level of energy, things shift and change. And I think, unbeknownst, again, not planned, but my energy heightened, it went up. And so when I introduced that to the family, theirs also went up, or it
Mm.
shifted, changed. And it was a positive force, I think, for everybody.
Yeah, I think that we talk about this in the Joy Revolution as well. Like, when you bring that vibration, I don't like using the word vibration, but when you bring it up to a point of joy, it becomes contagious,
Exactly.
and people want that. People want that Wendy around them.
Well,
Um,
that Wendy was very authentic. That Wendy was very centered.
okay,
Wendy was a different, better.
bigger,
Uh,
faster, stronger, better, stronger, better. It's a Kanye song, right?
exactly.
Um, I want to get to this idea of resilience because I've got my own thoughts on resilience, and you've got this idea of resilience for everyday resilience, right? And so, where did you come up with that idea? And more so, what is the idea of everyday resilience?
So I think it's great. I mean, let's kind of make the definition. So when I think about resilience, it's about the ability to overcome adversity. Okay, and I think and then that can be translated into what I would call catastrophic, which is things like trauma, death, illness, whatever that is. It's like a big event that happens. And then there's everyday resilience. And the way that everyday resilience came for me, I was driving home and was in a big snowstorm, like huge snowstorm, and what should have taken an hour to 4 hours to get home. And I thought along the way is, okay, this is a huge disturbance. This is like, I at one point panicked, like, because I was alone in the car, was I actually going to be able to get home? And it was that point that I said, wow, we have everyday disturbances. You see it when you drive in New York City. You see it when you're going to the food store and you're at the back of the line and it's going to take you 20 minutes just to get up there. You see it if you're late for an appointment, or if you have an argument or conflict with someone that you really love. And I started thinking, Mark, it's those types of disturbances and challenges that kind of build up.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if you're not able to kind of put them in context and figure out how to get rid of them or accept them and acknowledge, then you're really going to be laden down. And so, to me, it is like I talk about both, but it is about helping, I think, people get through the everyday resilience so that they can lead the lives they want to lead.
I like it because what you're implying is that like it's not like we walk every day is like every single day is a mundane day and then all of a sudden we hit an acute trauma,
Right.
right? And then we're knocked out for years, right? You're talking about sort of the everyday low latent chaos that it's here 1 second, or it has the possibility of ruining your day, right? And then you kick the dog afterwards, and or it has the possibility of in that moment taking you out of that joy that you're in, and you don't even know, and then you have to like wait to get out of that situation to go back up, right? Oh, we got Shelly throwing this up, the idea of impermanence, right?
Yes.
Shelly, if you want to hashtag talk a little bit more about impermanence, we'll get you on there. But is that what you're kind of talking about? This sort of everyday chaos that we go through. That's not, the sky is falling on all of us every single time.
Correct.
Okay.
And that's it. I mean, I hate to sound trite, but it's like the only thing that we are sure of is change. And
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
And so it is about how do we deal with those changes? How do we deal with the unexpected that happens in our lives so that it's not the worst thing? You don't go into panic mode. You don't go into stress. It's like, okay, this is here. What are we going to do to either solve it, help it, accept it, surrender to it? Like whatever that is, whatever it calls to be done, so that it's not taking you into a place of negativity.
So how do you stay empowered and unaffected by these inputs so that
Right.
you still want the outputs that you want? Yeah, that makes
Correct.
complete
So
sense.
listen, it's about
I'm listening, baby.
it's about taking
I
the
hate when we fight.
it's about taking the volatility and trying to keep it at an equanimity.
Okay, okay. Talk a little bit more about that volatility because the thing that I think about with volatility is the idea that that's out of my control. The
Mm-hmm.
environment. Now, are you talking about volatility being your internal reaction? Or are you talking about
Cut it
volatility?
both ways.
Okay, talk about it.
That's right. It is environmental. We don't have the control, so things will happen, and then the volatility. So if things are happening externally, then how are we addressing it internally?
Ah, gotcha. I see it. I totally see it. Thank you for the update. So in a sense, A person with low everyday resilience is at the mercy of the volatility of the day to day. Like
Exactly.
for example, like these are the people that wake up and you ask them how they're doing. They look outside, it's raining, and they're like, "Well, it's a bad day today."
Yeah.
That's low everyday resilience, right?
Yeah.
Versus like,
They wake up and they're like, oh, I don't want to go to work today. I want to see my boss. I don't want to deal with my coworkers. That's exactly it.
so let's talk a little bit more about this resilience and like almost how do you know if how do you know where you are like in terms of high everyday resilience or low everyday resilience?
That is a great question, and I have created my own resilience test. And I've done this based on all the reading and all the learning and all the people that I've interviewed. So think about having like a backpack on your back, and that backpack is filled with rocks. It can be filled, and each rock represents something: guilt, unnecessary stress, a limiting belief. And pretty soon you have like a fight, like with your mom, you add a rock. You're late for an appointment, you add another. Oh my gosh, you're going to work, you get a flat tire, you add another rock. And pretty soon, that backpack is really heavy.
Just
So,
walking around and navigating is tiring.
correct. I mean, you have weight on your shoulder. And you and I both know people talk about the weight that they feel on their shoulder and then how they can't let it go.
Yeah. Catabolic energy.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So if you're way down, and that's exactly it. I mean, we call it catabolic energy when we're talking to people and
And
telling
by
them,
we mean ultimate beings.
right?
Highly conscious. No, it's how we were trained.
Like coach speak. You don't want to
Coach
talk
speak.
coach speak.
Yeah.
So it's about because it has to be relevant, and that's what's relevant. So if you're laid down, if you're weighed down and you can't stand up straight, you're probably not as resilient as you want to be.
That makes so much sense. So, okay, we're let's say I'm walking around now, right?
Right.
I look like I'm 20, right? So I'm gonna act 20, right?
Right.
In my Tommy Bahama shirt, I'm so proud of, right? I've got I've got 20 years of rocks that I think I must carry this burden for the rest of my life. How do we start getting the rocks out?
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what the coaching is, and that's what I help people do. So I think
Gotcha.
there's a couple different ways. Getting the rocks out is we have to identify what rocks are not serving you. So it's a first about being aware of what's in there and why. And so if there is guilt or unnecessary stress or a limiting belief, then what do? We're going to reach in the rock. We're going to get the rock out of the backpack. And we're going to drop that rock. Like you
Sure.
don't need it anymore.
Sure.
And
Well,
and half the battle is becoming aware of why that is.
and I love how you bring that up because my initial thing was just get all the weight out of the fucking backpack. But there's things that serve you to keep. You know, like
Right.
me going to the airport later today, I probably want to keep that wallet in my backpack. I don't want to unpack that wallet,
Right.
right? But also at the same time, it seems like some are easier said than done. I feel like there's some rocks maybe towards the bottom of my backpack that like are going to take years or
Yeah.
a lot of coaching to get them out because it's just such a like it's almost like it's a rock that's attached to me because
Yeah.
it's become so close. Have you had clients say that like, "Oh my god, that's hard to let go of."
Of course. And
Okay.
that's where the hard work becomes.
Okay.
That's where it's about whether or not they want to release that rock or not.
Gotcha.
As coaches, we make them aware, but they're the ones that have to release it, and then we give them tools and strategies and I give them tools and strategies on how to do that. Because there's really three different strategies on this whole rock analogy, which is how do you take the rocks out that you don't that are not serving you? How do you prevent the rocks from going in there in the first place, which is the resilience? And what do you need to do to identify?
Okay.
Then the third, which is what you alluded to right now, which is how do you strengthen your back to carry the rocks that are remaining, because we're never going to get rid of all the rocks.
Okay, I love it. I love it. So, okay, I heard two of the three metaphors. Taking the rocks out are basically letting go of limiting beliefs, gremlins,
Right.
things that don't serve you.
Shadow.
Yeah, the chatter. It's the things that don't serve you, but kind of bring you down on a daily basis. That lowers your everyday resilience. Then the second thing is, how do you prevent the rocks from getting into that backpack? That's
Right.
practicing everyday resilience. Now,
Correct.
how do you strengthen your back? What is that the metaphor? Like, what is that equivalent of? Like strengthening your back?
Well, let's put it this way. You have backs that are on you're still going to have rocks that are in your backpack. So then it's, what are the tools that you're going to learn to kind of maintain that? So let's say you have a relationship. Let's say you have a parent relationship that doesn't necessarily serve all your needs.
Mm-hmm.
However, you're not going to let that parent go, or a sister or something, like a relationship that's very important to you. So that rock is still in your backpack, but how are you going to reframe that so that you're not feeling laden down? What is the joy you can find in that relationship? What are the positives that you can take away and try to negate the negativity?
I
And we
abs-
all,
I absolutely
right?
love it. Yeah, and essentially it's a reframe of saying this is something that it used to burden me, but the way that I've strengthened, the way that I've expanded, allows me to carry this in the new capacity that I have. Is that what I'm hearing?
Exactly, because the fact is, we have a choice. It's getting back to exactly what we talked about before in the very beginning. How are you going to view that situation? And do we want to be miserable, or do we want to have some semblance of happiness?
Hmm.
And that, it's not one or the other. It might just be, I'm accepting this, but by accepting, I'm just not going to be as sad, or I'm not going to be as unhappy, or I'm not going to be as miserable. This is where we are, and I'm going to move forward.
That that's really cool because acceptance, forgiveness, and purpose still are tied in with
Exactly.
all of this.
That
You
makes
cannot trick me, Van Bezen.
sense to me, right?
Yeah,
Because
it's
that just all came out of that.
okay. Okay, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about the practice of this now.
Mm-hmm.
You don't call yourself a master, but I definitely say that you're pretty damn good at this, right? So
Okay.
like we're a good halfway through our day right now. Talk to me about waking up today, and as much as you want to self-disclose, where did you practice this everyday resilience? Because one of the things that I'm thinking about is I may or may not be practicing everyday resilience because I'm unaware of the triggers. I'm unaware of the things alerting me. I'm unaware of the back pain. I'm just used to it.
Yeah.
And so like tell me like how have you used it today?
Right. Well, today,
Yeah.
I mean, even like preparing for this right now, because it's about getting ready, and it's about, okay, is there a story I want to tell? No. I'm going to be very present to what Mark and I are going to talk about. There was no questions ahead of time. There wasn't anything, but that's where I also tied into the fearlessness, which is, I can do this because I'm speaking from my heart. It's not like the mind. I'm speaking from the heart. And so the everyday resilience, the very first, I have like a framework. The very first step is be present to the situation. Don't worry about the past, and don't think about the future. Just be present to what is going on.
Okay. Okay.
And so that's how I approach today, and that's how I approach every day.
So I'm curious. You said you have a framework. Would you be willing to share a little bit more of that?
Of course, of
Okay.
course, of course. Thanks for asking. So that's actually the first step. The second step is, be conscious of what you can control and what you can't control, and let go of what we can't control. There's so much that we cannot control that we worry about, but it's doesn't how does that help us?
It doesn't.
Right?
It's,
It doesn't.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay.
And then the third is to look at obstacles and challenges as opportunities versus hindrances. What is it? And there are a lot of challenges that are just basic challenges, and sometimes we're just going to look at that to get through. I'm not a Pollyanna, pie in the sky. Oh yeah, everything's wonderful. And so sometimes you can do it as you're going through it, or you're going to look at it thereafter,
I,
right?
I really love that, and I mean you're making Carol Dweck very happy right now, and I think IPEC level 5, right? IPEC level 5, like when you're taking lemons, turning them into lemonade. But truly, I'm teaching a course right now on shadow psychology, and even in the shadows, there are opportunities presented for us to grow
Mm-hmm.
if we just look in the shadow in the darkness. And for you, like it, I might have to present this in the class, the Van Besien, what is it, 2019 or 18 model, where it's like by being present, being conscious of what you can control, almost not being afraid of what you can't see in those shadows, but being curious, and even saying there's probably opportunities for me to be my best self, to increase my joy capacity, to strengthen my back, as you call it,
Correct.
in those shadows. But I have to go there. I have to go there.
You have to acknowledge it. You have to see it. You
I
have to
love
be
it.
aware of it. You
I
have to name it.
I love it. How has this been sticking as you've been presenting this with people?
It sticks a lot, actually. I think because it makes sense, because it's real. Everyone can know what rocks are in their backpack, right?
Yeah.
And everyone has different rocks, and some of them are jagged, and some of them are beautiful and
Yeah.
pretty. But everyone has rocks, Mark. We all have rocks.
We do, and
So,
I really love how you've taken a positive psychology principle, you've turned things and you've applied some of your own experience and wisdom, and you flipped it around to something where resilience has always been something where it's like, we must be resilient at the time, such a trying time. But nowadays, like we're always faced with stress, whether it be eustress or distress, and it's almost like micro stress now, right?
right.
And so like, do we have the tools necessary to address the micro stress before it becomes macro stress and turns into something really crappy? So I can see this. I can see this being very, very sticky with the people that you're presenting this to. I could see you presenting this on some big stage one day. I'm just saying.
Okay.
So,
Marky Mark.
but just put that damn black cup down and you'll get far, lady.
Haven't picked it up in a while. So, but yeah, no, I think it really has come from, and this has come from a lot of study. I mean, there are masters out there. You talked
Yeah.
about Carol Dweck out there,
Yeah.
Adam Grant,
Yep.
all the happiness work, Marty Seligman,
Mm-hmm.
all of that has Eckhart Tolle,
Yep.
all of that has been a part of how I got to where I got. It's not just Wendy Van Besien. Yeah, my experiences have led me here, but it's being able to look at all the masters and saying, what have I been able to take from them?
Yeah, I really love that. Yeah, I echo what you just said. Three time cancer kicker asser, and you probably get some insight from that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that you've not only, I mean, when we first met, that not the time at the bar where you thought you were Miss Sorority Queen, but the first time we talked on the phone, um, you told me the list of things that you had read through the years. And I was like, this is just a matter of putting it together in a
Right.
way that people who are not going through the life or death trauma right now, they can pick it up and read it and understand, yeah, those things happen, but on a day-to-day basis, within the normal curve,
Right.
we're dealing with mundane types of chaos. But that builds up like
It comes
plaque.
down. And also, because I've had people say to me, wow, I mean, how can I be as resilient as you, Wendy? Like, you've gone through all of this. And my answer to that is, it's not relative, it's absolute. Everyone has different thresholds, Mark, for dealing with
Mm.
overwhelm. And so it's not that mine is better or worse, or yours is better or worse than someone else's. It's that it's happening to us as individuals. And so everyone has their own threshold and penchant for how then to be able to move forward.
I love it. I love it. Um, Wendy, again, we've gone into flow, and hopefully you felt some joy going into this. You sent me a text. You were like, "You want to run through this?" And I was like, "No, it's Wendy Van Besien. We don't have to run through it."
He always is like makes me sweat. I always get a little.
It's you crushed it again. Wendy, like it's been an absolute privilege to work with you, alongside you, to hear your story and for you to hear mine. I can't wait to keep moving forward. Wendy at wendyvanbesen.com is how to get in touch with Wendy. And the spelling's there, and it's also in the show notes. Besien. Wendy at wendyvanbesen.com. I think that tool is ready. The Everyday Resilience tool that you created.
Yes.
Okay, that's where you can go and get the Everyday Resilience tool. Work with the framework. Talk to Wendy. All that good stuff. I'm going to Atlanta now, which means that Tracy, you got bumped again. I'm sorry. We're going to get you on at some point, but Tracy Litt was supposed to come on tomorrow, but I got to do something in Atlanta and see my son. But here's the deal. We're going to shut off the golden mic for this week. It's been an awesome return. We had some amazing conversations, which was touchstoned with Wendy and her piece on everyday resilience. We have we didn't do this yet. Thank gosh. I have a vision activity for you, Wendy, and that's why it's called the Golden Mic. And the vision activity is this. After all these years, the wisdom that you've attained, whatever you want to call it, there's a golden mic now coming down from your ceiling, and it's resting right there in front of that black glass, so much that it just chips the black glass and you got to throw it away, right? But like this golden mic has the power to broadcast to every sentient being across the multiverse and be translated into every language. Not everyone's going to pick up what you're throwing down, but there are some people who have been waiting for this moment for you to tell them something that could absolutely change their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Given that, Wendy Van Besien, your golden mic is live now.
And what I would suggest is make friends with whatever moment you're in at the time. Welcome in all the feelings, emotions, circumstances, because they are here as an opportunity for us to learn to get to either a higher level of consciousness or just become even better friends with ourselves. So if we are able to do that moment by moment, not only are we building resilience, but we're building a more joyful life.
Mm, mm, mm. Wendy, I want you to hold that mic in front of you. I want you to hold that mic in front of you. And I want you to drop that mic like it's hot, Wendy Van Besien. I want you to stomp on that mic. I want you to ski on it. Do whatever you want to that mic. Don't destroy that cup. You earned that cup, and you have every right to drink out of that cup. And the cup runneth over. So that's it for the week. Wendy and I encourage you. We use social media for social good. Go out there and connect with the people that you love. Don't just stay on social media all weekend. And we have one final question, and it's this. If you're feeling good and you're living life to your full purpose right now, what is your responsibility to change the world for the better? Wendy Van Besien, Marc Cordon, episode 185. This has been Everyday Resilience in the Golden Mic Live. Thank you. Oh, Van Besien, you killed.